What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back. It's Yums, and today we are going to talk about exactly how to shut down the run in Madden 22. LeGarrette Blount just came out. Bo Jackson is on the way. We're going to talk about how formation subs affect run defense, what formations affect run defense. We're going to talk about every facet of run defense. But before we get into it, if I could ask you one favor, if you could slide down beneath the video and hit that subscribe button, it would really help me out. We are on the journey to try to get 500 subscribers by the end of November. Some say it's not possible. Let's prove them wrong. The first thing I wanted to go over is how formation subs actually affect run defense. So in previous years, formation subs had no change on the defense. It didn't matter. You could put safeties at linebacker and that would have no effect. This year, however, there is a slight effect. So some people used to go ahead and they used to put corners at safety. If you do this year, you will notice that in the run game you're going to have a tough time tackling, especially if you're not good at gap shooting, which we all know gap shooting is a lot harder on next gen. Some other formation subs here that matter, like I said, the linebackers at safety. If you are having trouble, you can go ahead and bring in some linebackers at those spots. If you're in 3-3-5, 3-3-5 wide. If you're in 2-4-5 odd, we will talk about that in a minute, but just don't be in 2-4-5 odd against the run. But if we're in either one of these, we can go ahead and we can put linebackers back in at linebacker. That's going to help us against the run. It will also help us to put a DT in at DT and a DT in at DT and a D end and at D end. Excuse me, my controller was going crazy right there. The next thing to talk about is actually formations and how they affect the run. So this year you are going to get a little more of a boost if you are in like a 3-4 or like an actual 3-4 or a 4-3 actual run defense against a run play or a heavy set on early downs. They're trying to encourage that realism. However, I still wouldn't recommend going to a 3-4 or a 4-3 set if you're playing anyone that's a competent passer. Even if they're in a 2-1-2 or a heavy package, they're still going to be able to laser you. They're going to know the dots, and your players just aren't going to be fast enough to keep up. So I would recommend still going back to a nickel package, and if you have to, like I said, subbing dudes back in at their regular position, not doing all the crazy subs we normally do, maybe playing some linebackers in at these outside linebacker spots, and then I would go ahead and put a safety still in at the user at the middle. Just make him a beast, you know, put Sean Taylor there and user Sean Taylor or something like that. Now let's talk about formations overall. Out of nickel formations, what would I use? So I am in the 3-3-5 a lot, and I find that the 3-3-5 stops the run well. If you want to check out the 3-3-5 game plan, I have a mini scheme on it somewhere on the screen right now. If not, that's cool. I know a lot of people are in 3-3-5 wide. 3-3-5 wide is fine to stop the run as well. Same thing, if you want to have a better chance to stop the run, you can go ahead and put outside linebackers back in at those linebacker spots. Gonna give you a better chance, but like I said, you want to use it situationally because you're still going to want those fast guys a lot of the time. So besides that, a lot of people are in 2-4-5 odd. You do not want to be in 2-4-5 odd against the run. If your opponent is committed to running the football, if they, you know, are one of these dudes out here with Bo, out here with LeGarrette, and they're toting the rock, get out of 2-4-5 odd. Go to something else in your playbook. For the love of God, please go to something else in your playbook. 2-4-5 odd will not stop a nosebleed in the run game. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Next, I wanted to talk about how different plays themselves can actually have an effect. So if we want to take a look at this, if we go into something that's man coverage, for instance, a lot of new players want to go into a man coverage to stop the run. The reason why a man coverage is not going to be good to stop the run, everyone's dropping back. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Let me go ahead and audible to a pass there, and you see everyone is going with a player. Just lob one up there, and we'll go back to the replay and I will show you. but nobody's looking at the ball. Everyone is getting dragged away from the ball. So if we look at this, everyone has to turn their hips. You see, turns his hips immediately, turns his hips, turns his hips, turns his hips. We now have one person looking at the ball. 2 people, 3 people. He's going there. We have 2 people looking at the ball. Okay? If this is a draw play, or even if this is a run play off the bat, we're going to have a worse time stopping this just based off of this fact right here. Everybody's backpedaling. They're already moving away from the ball. Now, if we go to something like a cover 4, which is a match coverage, where everyone is going to be backpedaling to their spot, and we look at that, we can see that's actually going to be more effective against the run because everyone's looking at the ball carrier the whole time. So you see the entire team is looking at the ball carrier. So that's going to be a more effective way to go ahead and stop the run, because you can see, look at all the eyes we have on the ball carrier if this is a run or if the quarterback takes off. Another play, a specific play I like against the run that I did talk about, and I will link on screen somewhere here, is this 3 double buzz for the same reason. You can play a cover 3, but you can actually have people backpedal, which is going to help you against the run. So I like this cover 3 a lot against the run. A lot of people have told me that works well, but again, you can go to this cover 4. Also, the cover 4 historically good against the run. Another big factor to me is people's line adjustments. So I always crash. We're crashing up in the 3-3-5. So we're going to crash up twice. And the reason we crash up is because that's what we do in our blitz. I'm going to contain. Now, this also works pretty effectively against the run. You can see these 2 guys are going to fight outside and try to contain the ball carrier, run or pass. And this guy, because he's in this this crash up angle, because he's in this crash up angle, you can see he actually draws the attention of the guards and the center, which is going to be huge. So let's go ahead and jump into this and we'll see how this plays out. You can see that is going to play out a little bit better. Well, let me replay it. You can see if we go back into the replay, you can see JJ Watt. Well, he's fighting to get outside. He can't shed here, but he's fighting to get outside. And same thing on the other side. Now they get blocked up pretty good on this one, but that's not the point. You want to add that into the other tips. This is just a little tidbit. Like I said, I always like to crash up and contain with my run or my pass defense this year. The absolute most important tip I have at stopping the run is going to be going into our coaching adjustments by tapping in on the right thumbstick. Then we're going to go down and we're going to bring our zones in. So if they're toting the ball, this is for when they're toting the ball. We know they're going to run. We know they're not going to pass. Bring your purples down to play the run. We're going to put our purples at 5. Okay, our purple's at 5. Now in this instance, purple's at 5. Let's jump back into that 3-3-5 and I'll show you how we can go ahead and set that up. We go into something like a cover 2 and we can go ahead and put 2 purples on the side and that crash up. So we have a deep third. We have coverage deep just in case they do pass it. And we have these 2 outside guys and they're going to play at 5 yards. They're really going to help us against the run here. So we're going to go ahead and snap this ball. And you can see that those guys are coming down and they are immediately going to help us out. We'll go back and take a look at the replay here. You can see that because he's already at 5 yards, he makes a read on the ball carrier super quickly. He does as well, although he gets engaged by a blocker, but he's already coming across to make a play. He gets engaged by a blocker as well, but that's not the point. The point is to put more bodies around the ball to have a better chance. At the end of the day, you are going to need to use, you're going to need to have a good user to stop the run. But these are all tips that can help you, that can take pressure off your user. This is going to give you more bodies around the ball, a better chance to tackle the ball carrier, and hopefully they don't get free. LeGarrette Blount and Bo Jackson are monsters though. The last thing I wanted to talk about is I mentioned in the last part how you needed a good user to be able to shut down the run. Well, something that's going to be able to help you have a good user as well is knowing your assignment. A lot of people don't know actually that on a play, you have 2 assignments. If you press right trigger, you can go ahead and see your pass assignment. So if I was Zach Collins here, my assignment would be to go ahead and go over here. But if I am in a run assignment, I'm going to go ahead and press left trigger, and then I'm going to press B if the run is going to the right, or X if the run would be to the left. So let's look at our run assignment here. So if the run is to the right, we need to fill this gap. If the run is to the left, we need to fill the same gap right there. So our responsibility is the same on this play. You need to look at that a couple times, familiarize yourself. A lot of people actually put themselves out of position, and like, let's say in that instance, I need to fill this gap. What if I shoot here and the run is to the right? There is now no one on that right guard to fill that gap. It's obviously going to be a big gain. This is a simple thing that can help you stop the run. That's going to go ahead and do it for today's video, talking about absolutely shutting down the run. If you have any questions, slide down into the comments below. Let me know. If you liked the video, make sure to like the video, and we'll see you next time. Hope you have a great day on and off the gridiron.